Thugjitsu Master and Squid.
Thugjitsu Master and the Squid.
Thugjitsu Master and the Squid.
Thugjitsu Master and the Squid.
Chrysler Building, Empire State Building.
Christ.
Season 2, Thugjitsu Master and Squid. Happy New Year to you,
Happy New Year to you too, my friend.
Thugjitsu Master.
We don't kiss on the ball drops. That
No.
just doesn't happen around her.
I got plenty of kisses. I'm all kissed out.
Oh. I hope you don't get I hope you don't have gingivitis.
No, just herpes.
That's good.
So we are here at Thugjitsu Master and Squid.
Where are we? We're on the I was going to say the Jersey Shore. We're not on the shore. We're on the Hudson. This is the Hudson, right? You from here?
Yeah, this would technically be the Jersey Shore. It's a shore.
It's
Not the Jersey Shore, but
And
it's
we're
a
in Jersey.
Jersey Shore.
That's Manhattan over there. 'Cause that's just how we roll. We do shit. Like we go places and do shit.
We're here after an amazing night of the PFL. 7 fights, 6 new world champions and millionaires.
Millionaires. $6 million man. See what I did there?
Yeah.
You like that?
You were up close to the action. I was pretty close myself, but you were all headsetted up.
I was.
Thoughts?
Okay. So I saw the first UFC in like 93. Came home, begged my dad to order the pay-per-view. I started doing it. I started getting all the tapes I could. I wanted to watch it. I wanted to compete. Started training. And then I had a whole MMA career. I fought for 17 years? I don't think I made $1 million in that entire time. 6 guys, 3 fights. 3 fights because we count the playoffs, right? But 6 guys made $1 million on New Year's Eve. That's so dope. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, the average person probably won't make $1 million in their lifetime.
No. Now, I'm thinking about making a comeback. Is what I'm thinking about making a comeback and then making $1 million.
And then retiring just like Sean O'Connell.
Like, man, that was the fight of the night for me. Sean O'Connell and Vinny Magalesh. I mean, Vinny was he was probably the second biggest favorite on the card. No, he's probably the biggest favorite on the card, actually. I think we have the odds. And Vinny was the biggest favorite. And Sean just Sean shut it down. Sean looked really good. He was working with Jeremy Horn. He had a great camp. He had a great corner. And just took away Vinny's game. And Vinny's game has improved. I mean, he ain't just the jiu-jitsu guy.
4 finishes throughout the PFL season. Vinny Magalhaes, all first round finishes, which I thought it's a positive, but I think it could be a negative to not get rounds. And Sean had a couple fights that were a little bit of wars.
Yeah.
Even during the regular season, he took that loss to Atayev, which I think is a good wake up call for him. He got. And I would have expected Vinny to maybe go work the body.
You know,
I was really surprised because you're not gonna hit Sean in the head and put him away. I think.
I mean,
hard.
did though, but Atayev did.
Atayev hit him with a spinning wheel kick.
Yeah, that did hurt.
Yeah,
but the thing about it is, I believe Sean getting in all those rounds, Vinny not getting in all those rounds, that helped a lot. In the fact that. In the pre-production meetings, we were talking to Vinny, and he made a point to say, if I make this fight happen, if I finish this fight in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I've spent an average of 2 minutes in the cage per fight. And that's cool and all.
It's cool. It's fine.
But $1 million is much cooler. Focus on that, right?
Yeah, we interviewed him on the PFL Weekly maybe about a month and a half before the finals. And all Vinny was talking about was trying to finish the fight faster than his shortest fight in the PFL. I was like, just focus on the $1 million. Don't worry if it takes you 2.5 minutes or 25 minutes. But Sean, he trains at altitude. Vinny trains at flat ground, Las Vegas.
Vegas is a bit altitude, isn't it? Because of it's in a valley.
It seems pretty flat.
Seems flat. I don't know. You have to fly up there.
But the way the night started off, you couldn't have beat it.
Man,
Lewis Taylor
Abu
put the
Smagomedov.
guns down. Lewis, he's gonna hurt. He's gonna hurt people, man.
He did.
He had the nickname change. He had the screen name nickname change throughout. It was Lewis Handguns Taylor at some point. Then I
Put
guess
the guns down.
put
Taylor.
the guns down.
Man, so that was a fight I was really, really interested in because two guys, similar styles, but one is very technical and sharp, and the other one is kind of raw, you know? And the thing about Lewis Taylor is, he's not going to quit. He's not. If he's in the fight, he's still trying to win. It doesn't matter if it's a 25-minute fight and he lost the last 24 minutes of it. That last minute, he's still dangerous. And he didn't have to wait until the last minute. He took one leg kick, and there was a little bit of feeling out, and that leaping left hook on the top of the head. And Abus is a tough dude. He's never been stopped by a knockout. But on the way down, he was shot. It was like he took a shot to the head.
Yeah, the way
Stiff.
it looked like the shot grazed him. Now on the way down, Abus just picked up speed, and all of a sudden his head smashed against the ground. He was out. Yeah. And Lewis Taylor make the top 10 on ESPN. He was number 8 that night.
Nice.
That's a
congratulations, Lewis Taylor.
That's huge. And Lewis Taylor has such a story. He got into the UFC, never even got a fight in the UFC. They cut him before they even got him a fight. And here he is now, $1 million richer.
How many middleweights? How many middleweights in the UFC are millionaires?
I would say
2.
George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva.
I guess he is a middleweight.
Michael Bisping.
You think Robert Whittaker's a millionaire by now?
He's probably right
close,
there.
if not on it.
It's got to be
very few.
Chris Weidman, millionaire. Vitor Belfort, millionaire.
Is that 6?
But Vitor Belfort, obviously, he's had like 72 fights in the UFC. So, obviously, he's going to be a millionaire. So many fight of the night bonuses.
That means Vitor Belfort is old.
But maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I think Nick Diaz, technically, because he's a middleweight, he's not a true middleweight. He's just over the $1 million threshold. But
we have there's a lot of asterisks on those millionaires that you just listed, though.
Bunch of them some were welterweights.
Some were welterweights, and they made the bulk of their money at the welterweight.
Yeah, the exciting thing about what the PFL is doing, I was like, all right, season 1's gonna be awesome because I love game shows. I love Deal or No Deal. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I love when the $1 million is up because it really is life-changing money.
Hey, so hold on. You love Deal or No Deal? It's like watching people play bingo on television.
No, because bingo it's not your choice, really. You're given a card. This, you're choosing a case.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's
so
much different.
It's bingo in reverse. It's basically what it is. You're giving the player the option. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're giving the player the option.
I don't like Deal or No Deal.
I watched like 3 hours of Deal or No Deal the other night.
I'd rather watch Shark Tank or The Chase.
I like Shark Tank. I like the profit.
Chase.
I like the profit. But I like anything where there's $1 million up because that it gives that game showy type of there's hype. So I knew season 1 was gonna be awesome because one, not all these guys are what most people think of A-level fighter or like maybe A-list celebrity as far as fighters.
Right.
Maybe notoriety wise, skill level. Some of them.
Yeah.
But skill level, it's just how do we prove it? Season 2, I know for a fact there's going to be some guys coming over. Some guys going to be like, I went 6-1 in the UFC this year. I made like
$200,000,
$410,000 maybe. Yeah. Got that Reebok money.
Yeah.
Get that Reebok money.
So everybody that's beating Sean O'Connell and Vinny Magalesh, they're chomping at the bit right now. Their mouths watering.
Yeah.
You know,
Vinny had a ton of losses in a row for a while. All those guys those guys are 10,000ers.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. But Vinny and Sean are different guys now too. Like that $1 million kind of gives you a lot of different motivation. You know, you fought, I fought. We all did this because we loved it.
I made at least $10,000 fighting. I made at least 10,000.
Balling out of control.
I want to say 20,000. 20,000 I probably made fighting.
You gotta buy me. You gotta buy me dinner soon.
No.
No?
You buy dinner. You work for the PFL. They gotta be cutting you off
They're not
something.
paying me $1 million.
No, but
I need
we'll
to-
figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we do need to figure that out. I need to talk to somebody that has PFL money and give me some money.
Yeah, that's why I try to hang out with you because I know you're doing stuff with the PFL. So I'm trying to squeaky wheel gets the PFL grease. Trying to get that PFL grease.
That's the only reason he's my friend.
Well, no, I met you before the PFL started, like right before. I might add insider info. Hey, Eve, good to meet you.
You're funny, Squid. All right. So let's run down the fights. Let's go from the bottom of the top. We already spoke about Lewis Taylor and Abu Smagomedov, and then we had Lance Palmer and Steven Siler. Good fight. I mean, that fight played out the way you expected to.
Everyone expected that type of fight. I expected maybe a little more from Siler to take a little more risks in there. I think by 20 minutes into the fight or 18 minutes of the fight, you knew what was going to happen.
Right.
I thought Siler was going to be rolling for knee bars, rolling for submissions, giving up positions really bad. Even with about a minute left in the fight, I didn't see Siler trying to just give up his back and go out on his shield. He knew he wasn't going to get a decision. So I wanted to see something a little crazy, and we never saw it.
He did pick up the pace in his striking a bit, and was that third or the fourth?
Yeah, I thought the end of the first round was probably the best we saw Siler.
Yeah.
He landed like a head kick on
on
Palmer and
stunned him, but wasn't able to follow up.
No, but then the round ended, and that was the last we really saw of any sort of stand-up game for the rest of the fight. And hats off to Lance Palmer. Years and years and years of work, wrestling room, fighting with wrestlers. He's got quite the career. He has $1 million to pay for it. His family is super on board.
Were you thinking about New Orleans?
Yeah.
That just popped in my head too. That's
So-
an inside joke. You want to share it? Hey, you know the story better. I mean,
Sure.
I was there, but you're better
Sure,
at telling stories.
I'll leave out a little bit
Great
of. So, long story short, we were in New Orleans.
After they both made the finals.
They both had 2 fights the night before. Both got to the
We're
finals.
talking about Lance Palmer and Steven Siler.
Yep, Lance Palmer and Steven Siler both coming off 2 wins. Finals was established. Next morning, we're in the hotel lobby, and we see Lance Palmer's family. So I mean, you're like, oh, congratulations, hats off for the fight you had, great, all that, and then all of a sudden, we hear like, kind of like fuck you, or I'll paraphrase, fuck you, you fucking suck, something of that nature from this little petite woman. This petite nice lady. Well, nice from visual. What was coming out of her mouth really took away the niceness. But it turns out to be Steven Siler's mom. And just barking at the Palmer family, saying, you're going to lose on New Year's and all this stuff. And that's all I was thinking about when the fight was going on. I was like, I don't know what to say. I just thought that was so crazy. But it goes back to my earlier point of how important $1 million is and what it can make true colors come out. It can make the dark side come out because it's a lot of money. That's life-changing money for families.
For families.
So
not just for
families get on
individuals.
board. Because usually probably Steven had a fight. Oh, she's like, oh, have a great fight. She's like, she was trying to play some tactics. She wanted to see if she can influence the New Year's. And
yeah, that's that psychological warfare going on.
yeah, and I like it.
You always like drama.
I know.
This dude has a World Star app, so like, you know what I mean?
I'm the guy whenever like there's a boyfriend and a girlfriend like bickering, I'm like, World Star. World Star. I'm
Like legit,
World
that's
Star.
who he is. That's who he is. And he pulls out his phone.
Yeah. Like, a girl will be arguing. She's like, I wasn't at my phone. And he's like, yes, you were. I'm like, World Star.
Like, he's a guy, so I'm walking down the street, and this guy's walking by, these girls in front of him, and I check out the girls, and I'm like, cool. And dude looks at me like, he just looks at me like he's tough, like he's packing, and Squid steps back, he pulls out his phone. That's
like,
who he is.
Yeah, because,
I know he's got my back, so if I get into trouble, he'll jump back in, but like, starting it off, he's filming that.
It's for legal ramification. I'm trying to get your back.
He's covering me in all areas. He's got my back in the legal side, and then if I get into trouble, he's jumping in. He's gonna take somebody down and lay on him.
But I thought that was funny. I should have said I missed out on my World Star moment with Styler and Palmer family.
You should have screamed.
Oh God,
that would have been perfect.
But it's hard with people in like their 50s, like World Star, and they're like, huh?
Also, we were partying in New Orleans all night. We didn't sleep.
We got no sleep.
So that was fun. Okay, so what was the next fight? The next fight was off the top. Welterweights. No, sorry, lightweights. Nathan Schultz and Rashid
Magomedov.
Good fight.
Great fight.
Disagree. Okay, so there was one point where there was a slight eye poke, incidental, and the ref took a point away.
Yeah, and I immediately texted you asking you, what happens if there's a draw?
Yeah.
Because I immediately was like, oh.
Yeah, because now it's a 4-round fight. That's 2-2. It's very likely to happen.
I was like, we're going to have no one get $1 million? Yeah. I asked you, I asked you, is there a 6th round if there is a draw?
And my only answer was nope.
Yeah.
That's it. Nope. So, he knows fighting, so he figures that out. We'll explain that for you. If there's no 6th round and there's a draw, that means nobody wins the title. Nobody's a champion. Nobody gets $1 million.
Sad.
That would have sucked. And I say shame on you, referee, for taking a point for such a slight infraction that was obviously incidental. Nathan he acknowledged that it was an accident, and he was ready to move on within seconds. Yeah. I know you had to translate, you had to bring a translator in and all that stuff, but that's not a reason to take a point off of a guy. So on you, Mr. Ref.
Yeah, all infractions... Not all, 90% of infractions. First one, I think, should be a warning.
Yeah.
I've told you my theory when I was fighting. If you're losing 2 rounds to none, kick the guy right in the balls to start the 3rd round. You wanna even a fight out? You play by the rules. Kick him right in the balls and take the warning. And if you're really losing, do it again. Take the 1 point. And then try to finish him.
Rules don't break; they bend.
Kick him in the balls.
That's why you wear a cup. That's why I wear a cup when I hang out with Squid.
That's why you got to wear one of those steel tie cups.
Yeah.
Those plastic baseball cups, they're not really helping the junk out too much if you get kicked really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me, man.
But that's my theory with you gotta play by the rules a little bit.
Yeah,
you gotta break rules to play by the rules. Sometimes you gotta break them to play them. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, you're cracking nuts over here. He's the nutcracker.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So Nathan Schultz. Anyway, without the point being taken, Nathan Schultz won that 3-2 on the judges' scorecards. I believe most judges had it 48-46.
48-46.
Because of the point taken away, 48-47 would be 3-2. And then Nathan won his $1 million. Now, both those guys train together, American Top Team. Both of those guys are coached by Baron Pina. And he stepped away from that so that both guys would have a fair opportunity without him necessarily leaning to one side. So respect for that. I know it's hard to step back when you helped a guy get to the highest level in the organization he's in, and you have to have 2 guys do that and step back. Respect.
Yeah, Schultz looked great.
The next fight was Kayla,
champion of the world. Next fight was Kayla. Straight up beat down. Absolute pulverized her opponent.
She did not want to take that armbar. I was there all night.
You might hear me on the broadcast because I was like right next to the cage. I'm like, take the arm, like I have any interest. But there was an open bar right next to the cage, and
Open.
it was open bar, and it was really nice. But there was a small moment. You can clearly tell striking still pretty inexistent because when she went to reach for the judo kind of head and arm, she got hit a little bit.
Yeah.
Looked a little Ronda Rousey-esque.
Yeah.
A little Ronda Rousey-esque. And that's the one fault I see for Ronda and Kayla is their entry. That's the one opportunity that people have is the entry. I would love to see, and I would have loved to see Ronda train with people like Alpha Male, use wrestling as your entry rather than reaching for your entry.
Yeah.
I would, I think Ronda could have won two of those, like maybe the Holly Holm fight if she would have tried to wrestle a little bit. I wish Ronda would have picked up some wrestling rather than judo, always putting her hips in, almost giving up her back and reaching out. It's a lot easier to close the distance with some sort of penetration step. Reach out and touch me. What's that song?
I don't know. I don't listen to that kind of shit.
It's like The
anyway.
Cure or something.
So after that, we had the Vinny Magalhaes Sean O'Connell fight we spoke about earlier. Really good fight. If you guys go to the PFL's website, watch that fight. If you watch any one fight, that's the fight to watch from the event. And all of the fights were great. But that fight gets 5 stars, a thumbs up, and a big hoo-ha from the Thugjitsu Master.
Big hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha. I like hoo-has.
But that fight I thought was the best. Like I was at the fights with a couple people that weren't into fights.
Yeah.
And that was
They were
probably
into that, huh?
They were into that because I believe that's the easiest one to understand. That's what I love about mixed martial arts is no languages are needed in mixed martial arts. Sometimes you don't even have to know the rules. You can tell from an outside perspective who's winning, who's losing, what one person is going for, what the other person. By 4 minutes into the fight, that guy wants to stand, that guy wants to go to the ground.
Yeah.
I was with a couple of girls out there. They're like, I don't know why that guy. Like, why does that guy want to go to the ground? But all they knew is he wanted to go to the ground. They didn't know what he was doing. They were asking a lot of questions, but it was pretty apparent. What was like, this guy wants to stand, this guy wants to go to the ground, and
the fight was fun. I mean, the
fight was exciting.
It was fun because although Vinny was shooting and pulling guard, but just before those exchanges, he was standing in and trading. He took some big shots. He landed a few of his own, and then it just started to go one way. As we continued to go deeper into the fight, it really started to go one way until Sean was able to shut the lights off. That was awesome. Congratulations,
Emotional.
Sean O'Connell, man.
Congrats, Sean.
He's a guy work with at the desk. He's called some fights with us at the desk. I love to see him back there. And after leaving the sport on a very high note, you feel for that dude. So I'm happy to see that. I'm glad Vinny's young enough to come back again next year. He learned a lesson, and he learned a big lesson earlier in his career. He came into this season, looked great, finished a bunch of guys. This is another lesson for him. So next year he has another opportunity, and I expect him to come in as, if not the favorite because of some of the other guys that may possibly come in, he's still going to be a high-level threat to that title, to that championship next year, for sure.
Yeah, and rewinding a little bit to Sean, I can't really think of many fighters that have left at the top the way Sean did, winning a world title and walking away. George St. Pierre did it. Obviously, he came back after his retirement.
Yep.
He's not particularly maybe retired right now. He's on another hiatus. But as I think back to the storyline of mixed martial arts, cannot really think of too many guys that have done that. It's a storybook ending. It's a great way to end the season. End a career, and I give MVP honors to Sean O'Connell too. Probably for the whole season for me.
Yeah,
probably impressed me the most.
It was Peyton Manning-esque.
That's probably the best example. Peyton Manning. Can't really think of too many other sports where guys walked off like that.
Yeah.
It's
John
smart of Sean, because Sean does have other things he wants to do, other aspirations. He's not the youngest fighter. He has a kid on the way.
He's not the prettiest.
He's not the prettiest, but he got himself.
But he's a millionaire.
And he finally secured a world championship, a legit world title in mixed martial arts, after a long, not up and down career, but a career that had some trials and tribulations.
Yeah. So congrats, Sean.
Congrats, Sean.
man.
I'm gonna send you out a big box of Oreos and stuff. I got him some Oreo stuff.
Thanks.
PFL wouldn't give me his address for security reasons, but I talked to Sean, and
We should put his address
I was
right
able.
here.
I was able to get his address.
His address should be
right
here.
I did ask for his address, and they were like, "No."
I'm gonna text him, ask him for his address. No. Should text him right now. Sean, what's your address? I'm gonna text him. Watch, you'll see it. You'll see it. As I text him, I gotta find Sean O'Connell first. But continue to talk for. Oh, there he is, Sean. What's your address?
So Sean, he does like all different Oreos, is what I have.
I like the lemon cream Oreos. They just came out with some lemon Oreos.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but they're not chocolate.
I went on Amazon recently, and there was like 30 different type of Oreos.
And you know what we just did? We just did an Oreo promo. So Oreos.
Oreo.
What's up? Y'all hook it up?
Hook a guy up.
Send me some of that Oreo cash. I like Oreos. And I like cash.
Oreo cash. Redeemable only for Oreos.
I like it. Then we had the heavyweights. And those dudes like Oreos for sure.
Oh, they love Oreos.
Yeah. Josh Copeland, Cinderella story. He came in as the 8th seed in the playoffs, beat the number 1, then beat the number 5 seed to get to the finals. And then Felipe Lins. Honestly, I thought Josh, the improvements he showed from the regular season to the playoffs was going to be the thing that got him over the edge.
Yep.
Because Felipe Lins looked like the same guy. But come to the championship, and Felipe stepped it up. He was slightly better than Josh through the first round. The first round was very competitive, and then the distance started to show itself throughout the rest of the fight until he was able to stop him in the 4th. I believe Josh was getting tired. He didn't keep his hands up, and he was just being tough at that point. He took some knees to the face, too.
Yeah, some referees might even let that keep going because Josh wasn't out. He was just taking knees. He was just getting the tie work. Lins threw about 7 or 8 knees in a row. Ended the fight. Won a world title. I was in the hotel maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm heading down, and the doors open from a floor above me, and it's Felipe's wife. She's got the belt over her shoulder. Felipe's there and his daughter. And it was like a really cute moment. I wanted to take my phone out and take a picture, but it's like kind of creepy to like walk in an elevator and be like, ch-ch.
That's when you just bust out the creep style.
Yeah, but we had to go down like 30 floors. So
it's okay.
I know, but it was a really sweet moment. They were a really sweet, cute little family. And then I went downstairs, and they were going to the after party as well, just as it was wrapping up. And Josh and Felipe had a nice little moment right there. Really good show of sportsmanship.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is all about. This is a sport. This is a game, and everybody want to see people that are angry at each other fight, and that has nothing to do with it. You signed a contract. You believe you could beat me. I believe you're wrong. So let's get at it.
Yep.
And that's what I like about the PFL. You know, the meritocracy of it all. You earn you earn all the opportunities you get just once you get to the playoffs. I mean, the regular season is what it is. And then you earn your opportunities in the playoffs. You earn that championship. It has nothing to do with what you do on Twitter, Instagram, or social media, and how much shit you can talk. It has to do with how well you can perform inside the cage. So that's a big deal for me. I like that. I love that the PFL is keeping it a sport. The rule set and the organization, the way the organization is set up, is so that it's all about the sport. The sport is number one.
Yeah, and that's where the sport was born.
Mm-hmm.
Sport was born in tournament fashion. If we go all the way back to 1993 when the UFC tournament. We didn't get away from tournaments for years.
Yeah.
They kept doing tournaments. There was so many tournament champions, and that's how the original stars were born. The
Randy
Hoist
Couture, Vitor
Gracies, the
Belfort.
Steve Jennums of the world. Any excuse to bring up
love Steve Jennum.
Any excuse to bring up Steve Jennum.
Favorite cop ever.
Oh, top cop. Pride tournaments, Bellator doing tournaments, IFL tournaments. I wish the UFC would get back into doing some tournaments. They do these tournaments, but they're not. The last one they did was the 135. I didn't really
25.
125.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a tournament.
No. And then they have the Tough House, which is a tournament, but yeah, is it really?
And we've shown that it works.
It works.
It works. The best guy will come out of that. So I like what the PFL is doing with this tournament. The amount of money. We'll see what type of fighters come over.
Yeah.
We'll see who the next guys are going to come over. I would love to.
There's only so many slots.
And guys are going to have to get cut.
Yeah.
There's some guys from this season that had fairly good seasons that are not going to be around.
Just so you know, before we get to the headline fight, the top 8, the playoff top 8, all the playoff fighters are back in season 2. That's the rule set we're going with. That's the qualifier. So they have a first option, and then there's still the other slots to be filled.
Johnny Case. No regular season fights.
Oh man!
0-1 in the playoffs. Back
I
next.
love how your brain works. You hear the rules, you go straight to the exception.
I always look for like the Johnny Case gonna be in it, huh?
Johnny Case, you earned your spot, buddy. You earned your spot by flying to New Orleans
and losing the fight.
Was it New Orleans? Was it L.A.? I forget. Anyway,
it was L.A.
It was L.A. All right. So headline fight: Ray
Main
Cooper
event.
III and Magomed Karamov. Say that 3 times fast. We're gonna call him Eminem because it's just so much easier. He's the Russian Eminem. You should hear him rap. It's like I don't know. Anyway, Magomed Karamov and Ray Cooper III. Ray Cooper had a similar situation to Vinny Magalesh. All knockouts. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and
rest in peace, Jake Shields. Jeez.
He killed Jake Shields twice. What's that Jay-Z song? I will kill you, commit suicide, and kill you again. Like that's pretty much what he did to Jake Shields.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's yeah. I hear it. So he comes into the finals looking to do the same thing, and what would you expect? I mean, he's a focused young man. That's his thing, his power.
Yep.
He can wrestle. He showed that against Jake Shields. He's not afraid of anybody's ground. He showed that against Jake Shields. Henderson Fajeda, a guy who beat him by decision prior to that, took him out in short order. And then Pavlo Kush, same thing. But Magomed Karamov, man, complete mixed martial artist.
The way Ray Cooper came out, the way Magomed took him down, took his back, I was like, oh my God, this is good. This could be real quick.
That's the first time we saw him in trouble.
He got out of it, but the loud section of the loud Hawaiian section of the crowd was not that loud at that point. He held a lot on his back in that fight.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't think he fought the proper game plan, especially with the way the fight was finished. He got caught in a guillotine, and he initiated that sequence by going for a takedown, which I thought was really interesting. I get it. He has good Hawaiian wrestling, but he's really known for his hands. I thought that was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right because that was the end of the fight, right? So there's really no counter to that.
Fight script.
Yeah, that was a tight guillotine. It seemed like he could have done a little more to defend, but at the same time, I'm not the guy in that guillotine, so I can't say that for sure. The thing about Magomed Karamov is, like I said earlier, complete mixed martial artist. I saw some of it when studying for the fight, reviewing tape. He showed some things in the playoffs. He showed his ability to make an adjustment. He showed good footwork, range, and angles. we saw him in the regular season use his wrestling to good effect, and he was able to put all of that together in the fight with Ray Cooper and get a check for $1 million because of it. Like that was a complete dismantling of a very dangerous man.
How far does that money go in Dagestan?
All the way.
Right, all the way.
All the way.
He's the Mayweather of Dagestan now.
He's just gonna have girls around just flashing cash.
Yeah,
he's gonna open up.
Open a strip club.
Just open a strip club.
What's he called? Like, is it body shop? No, it's like
Girls something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll put a link right here.
Yeah, it'll be
check
right
it,
here.
Check it out.
Look at this Instagram post from Mayweather.
From Mayweather.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a good spot where we can transition a little bit. We had another New Year's Eve event.
Yeah.
Very competitive fight. Definitely not a work. Mayweather and Tenshin Nasukawa.
Okay, so like I love what Rory McDonald had to say about that, and I'm gonna paraphrase right now, but it's disgusting that all these professional athletes or professional fighters are looking at that and pretending that Mayweather fight was not a work. That was I'm a big fan of Tenshin Nasukawa. I love Mayweather's boxing, but Tenshin Nasukawa looked like a really bad stuntman in the way he was going down every time he got hit. It was like really exaggerated, looked like a B movie. And they paid, and what did Mayweather made? What, $9 million?
$9 million
for 3 minutes of work. Like they.
I see
Mayweather.
How you guys are calling it a work. I see why you're looking at me. Tenshin Nasukawa has an undefeated kickboxing, boxing, and mixed
undefeated
martial
combat sports record. Undefeated.
Yes, undefeated across the board. If he can't throw kicks, he's a fish out of water.
Yeah, but if he can't throw kicks, that doesn't mean he gets punched halfway across the pride ring. That's ridiculous.
You ever been hit by Mayweather?
No.
All right.
I've seen Mayweather hit a lot of people. So I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it at all. I'm not buying it. Mayweather.
And then similar fashion to the way we saw Magomed Karamov submit Ray Cooper, your former teammate got himself a win over Darian Caldwell. That
still my teammate, but yeah. Kyoji
Horiguchi took on the Pride featherweight champion of the world. Bellator bantamweight champion of the world, Darian Caldwell.
National champion
in wrestling. Was dominating the entire fight until the final round. Caldwell got in on a takedown. Might have took a couple shots prior and was pretty fast submitted on the guillotine.
Kyoji got him.
It was...
Got him!
I love that guy.
Kyoji did. He got him. And submitted him with that. Was it arm in? It was an arm in, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really, really good job, man. Kyoji's a hard worker. Darren Caldwell, he's a tough guy, national champion. That says it right there. Anybody who wins that national title at Division I, at any level, but at Division I, that's the best. That's the highest level of wrestling in the country. So that's a huge deal to get a win over a guy like that. Kyoji's been undefeated since he left the UFC. His only loss that I can recall is against Demetrius Johnson.
That final second armbar, right?
Yeah. So, that was Kyoji's on point, man. He's fighting weight class up. He's 125 pounds and fighting at 135 pounds. Darren Caldwell is truly 135 pounds.
Yeah, wins over Manel Cape, Ian McCall. Has beat some really, really good fighters in his run in Japan. Yeah. And it's good for a guy to go back to Japan. And he made a home for himself in the UFC. Really didn't take many losses there. Now he's a superstar in Japan. He's the biggest mixed martial arts fighter, and especially ever Nasukawa took that beating and then was crying when he got his hand up. I was like, pull the emotions back, Tenshin.
Little script.
Little too much tension going on, Tenshin. You're a little tense there, Tenshin. Ease up the tension. All right, I'll move on.
Okay, real quick. Let's just run real quick through the main and the co-main event of the UFC 232.
Sure.
John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. John Jones came back, looked like John Jones of old, and against the guy who gave him his toughest fight, was able to go in there and stop him in the second. I mean, they went to a decision, a close decision for Jones. This is probably the first fight where he's lost multiple rounds. And this one, first round, looked competitive, looked very competitive. But when Jones got that takedown in the second, that was it. There was no more competition.
Second or third?
I thought it was the second.
Maybe.
I don't know. It was New Year. It was close to New Year's, and I had a few drinks.
A little rum.
A little bit of rum and Coke.
Yeah, and
The drink, not the white stuff.
Yep. It shows you the best time to beat John Jones is really going to be the first time you fight him.
Yeah.
Second time you fight him, if you made it close the first time, he's really going to try to make it not close the first time.
That's a big thing for wrestlers, too. A lot of times they figure it out. It's like the first time, okay, this is what gave me problems. I'm not going to run into those problems again. I'm just going to avoid them.
Yeah,
or shore them up.
That was John's second rematch. He had DC and Gus and made pretty simple work of both of them. Kind of chopped them away for the first 8 to 10 minutes of the fight, and then John can finish you. He's a monster.
Put it on you. And then
best fighter of all time. I think he's the GOAT. I don't know if we'll ever see him fight Daniel Cormier again. I think Cormier should walk away.
Sure.
I don't think I want to see him cry for a third time on a pay-per-view. Paper cry. But
hey, I don't know. We'll see. But when you say best, he's the GOAT. Let's move to another GOAT, the female GOAT, because Amanda Nunes, man. Honestly, I thought she had a shot, but I believed that Cyborg was going to be too big, too powerful. Hasn't lost in such a long time. And Amanda shut that shit down. Like, with the quickness, too. She cracked her the first time, and it was obvious that she was packing. And she was relentless. When you watch the replays, and as she's backing up, landing big shots, backing up, and her hands, she's about to, she loses her balance on the fence, catches her balance with the fence, as Cyborg is stumbling a bit, and you just see it in her eyes. It's like, that's prey. And she was a lioness, and she went after it. She started cracking.
Yeah, I
That
think
was beautiful.
that is the script to beat Cyborg, be able to outstrike her. That's really the move, and no one really has ever been able to come close to her striking,
Especially not in MMA.
not in mixed martial arts at all.
And she shut that down. I think she's I mean, everybody's already said it, the greatest female mixed martial artist ever. But on that note, I just want to give props to my team, American Top Team. This New Year's has been huge for ATT. We just spoke about it. We talk about Kyoji Horiguchi in Japan, Amanda Nunes being a double champ in the UFC. We had 3 guys here at the PFL that are American Top Team trained. Nathan Schultz, Felipe Lins, and Magomed Karamov. So it was like American Top Team had a great weekend, great way to close out the year. Love yous, because that's my team, that's my squad. So don't ever say my former teammates, because I still roll with ATT.
You don't
ATT
fight.
for life.
You don't fight.
For life, homie.
You're not fighting anymore.
Yeah.
You retired
I might come back.
for that $1 million.
Because I like cash. Pay me in cash.
You would maybe come out of retirement to fight in the PFL?
I'm not saying yes.
You trying to pull
saying no.
You trying to pull a Sean O'Connell? Commentator to fighting?
I don't not want to make $1 million. So there's that. Anyway, it's the New Year's. I'm the Thugjitsu Master. This is the Squid. And this is our show, Season 2.
Season 2 is here. We're back. More content coming your way. We're going to stay very consistent this year, crushing content. Fight Party Live is coming back as well. Watching fights.
Eating some foods.
It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be great.
We got to figure out some way to get some contests going and some sort of gotta incentivize people to communicate.
Yeah. So, First contest.
First contest right
First
here.
contest right here, right
Yeah.
now.
All right.
Send in your contest ideas, and if we choose your contest as one of our contests, you win something that a contestant would win. What do they win? I'll give you the password to my iPhone. You can check out my pictures.
Maybe a pop socket.
No, a pop socket. You get a pop socket.
Pop socket.
You get a pop socket.
Maybe I got a bunch of extra VIP passes from New Year's. It'll get you into nothing, but we can maybe autograph them.
Yeah, we could do that. I got a coffee you could have.
Ooh,
I'll save this for you. That'd be good.
That's really all it.
Be awesome.
Maybe some PFL. I got some extra PFL merch.
You get some PFL Championship merch. You definitely get some. So really, this is the prize.
All right,
You're gonna
yeah.
get PFL Championship merch.
And a pop socket and a used VIP pass.
Signed.
Signed.